This is going to be the first spoiler review I've ever done, but I really wanted to explain why I found the ending to Glass so polarizing. So again, if you aren't interested in it being spoiled, click away now before it's too late. Alright, you had your chance. So I just got back from seeing it a second time, and I will give it an 8 out of 10. Not sure if others will agree with me, but I think it deserves the 8. Anyway, brief rundown for those of you who aren't familiar with everything. The three main characters in this movie: Elijah Price, also known as Mr. Glass, played by Samuel Jackson; Kevin Wendell Crumb, played by James McAvoy, also known as the Beast; and David Dunn, played by Bruce Willis, also known as, in this movie they called him the Overseer. They never really gave him a name in the previous films. But the three of them are locked up in a psychiatric ward for people suffering from delusions of grandeur. Specifically, the delusion that they themselves are superheroes or capable of extraordinary things. Now, the doctor in this film, played by Sarah Paulson, her job is to try and convince them that they are not superheroes, that they are in fact ordinary people that have convinced themselves that they are more than that. But in the end, it is revealed that all of it, the diagnosis of delusion, the facility, all of it is a front. The doctor belongs to a society of people that have, throughout human history, she says they've been doing it for 10,000 years, have been rooting out and eliminating people like the three main characters. People who are capable of the extraordinary. Now, she justifies this by saying that it is dangerous for the extraordinary people to realize what they're capable of, that it creates a bit of a snowball effect, that heroes will rise up, and then villains will rise up, and they rise up to challenge them, and then more heroes will rise up to challenge them, and then so on and so forth. So their argument is we need to stamp it out early before it gets too large. But she also admits in the same breath that it's also out of jealousy, that the organization she belongs to believes that if everybody isn't capable of doing what they can do, then nobody should be able to do what they can do. Now, the whole point of these three men being locked up in this facility is part of an experiment. Up till now, they've either been killing them, and from what I understand, given the machine that she tried to use on Elijah, lobotomized them. She wanted to try and see if it was possible to revert someone who was capable of the extraordinary back to a normal person, to convince them that it was all in their head, and they go back to being normal, everyday citizens. Of course, by the end of the film, it's proven a failure. And Elijah, with the help of the Beast, breaks out of the facility, that they're going to the top of some brand new tower that's been built in the middle of the city, and perform some terrorist act. And Elijah's reasoning is, we need to show the world what we are, that we really exist, and what better way to do it than on a public stage like this. But David Dunn, Bruce Willis's character, the Overseer, he manages to break out, and he faces off with the Beast in the parking lot while Elijah waits and watches from behind. And for the most part, the fighting's pretty good. I mean, it's a cutaway type of fighting. You'll never actually see grandiose style things, you know, like it'll show David Dunn throw his fist at the Beast, and it'll cut to the van, inside the van that they're fighting up against, and you know, you'll see the fist indent the walls from the inside. It's that kind of stuff. But in the end, because it's proven to be a failure, that the experiment did not work, the society steps in and kills all three of them. Now, it's not the fact that all three of the main characters, especially the hero, dies in the end. Like, I'm not one of those people who thinks that the hero should always have a happy ending. But it's just the way they took care of David Dunn, the Overseer, Bruce Willis's character, the hero of the film, the guy that just risked his life to save people, especially when compared to the others. Now, like I said before, there is a weakness that David Dunn's character has that they seem to have jazzed up a bit for this film, and that is water. The Overseer, he's practically invincible. Like, he hasn't been fully tested. Like, I don't think there was ever an instance where anybody tried to stab him or shoot him, but he's pretty hard to break. But he can still drown. Now, during the fight, the Beast throws Dunn, along with himself, into a giant vat of water that was being used to flood Dunn's room whenever he got a bit rowdy. They managed to bust open the vat, the water spills out everywhere, and it fills up various potholes in the ground. David Dunn's character is very weak at this point. He can't fight, he's done. One of the members of this society, dressed up in a SWAT team uniform, comes over, picks up Dunn. Sorry for the rain, it's starting to pick up bad outside. Picks up Dunn, how appropriate. Comes over, picks up Dunn, drags him over to one of these puddles in the pothole, and drowns him in it. The hero of the film dies the way he feared the most. He had a complete aversion to water. He was scared of drowning in it, and they killed him in the way he feared going out most. That's just cruel, especially compared to the way the other two went out. The villains, the ones who killed people. You know, the Beast, he eventually, after David Dunn's on the ground, too weak to move, he decides he's going to make his way to the tower and finish the plan, but he gets stopped by the girl that survived Split. She has this innate ability to draw out Kevin, the original personality that makes up this man, and to put the Beast away. Once the Beast is put away and Kevin's out in the open and he's vulnerable again, the society just snipes him from a distance, puts a bullet in his chest, and he falls to the ground, dying in the arms of the woman that he loves, and on some morbid level, she loves him back. As he goes through all the personalities, and each one of them saying goodbye in their own special way, and then Kevin, he gets the final goodbye. It's a heartfelt moment. Mr. Glass, Elijah Price, the guy who masterminded all this, who made all the killing possible, he dies from wounds he sustained from the Beast after the Beast learned about how he was responsible for his father's death. But as he's dying, he finds out from the doctor that his suspicion that there was this secret society of people out there keeping the specials from being known is real, and his mother comes over to kneel beside him in his final moments, and he says to her, "Mom, I wasn't a mistake." And she answers him with some of the best line I've ever heard. "No, son, you were extraordinary." That's beautiful. The two villains get a beautiful end. Dunn, he gets, the hero, the guy who did all this stuff, he gets drowned in a puddle by some asshole in black. In the end, though, Elijah, he does get the last laugh, as the whole scheme to charge after this tower and commit some type of terrorist action was all a lie. What he did was he hacked into the psychiatric facility's camera feeds. They recently updated the entire facility with all these cameras that pick up everything. And he created a live feed that downloaded everything that happened out in that courtyard. The fighting between between the Overseer and the Beast, maybe even their deaths at the hands of these people, and had it sent to his mother, David Dunn's son, and I'm just going to call her Kevin's lover. I can never remember her character name. And the three of them go on to upload this footage to the internet for all to see, and it ends with the three of them in a train station watching as people's phones blow up with the footage. And the last we see of Sarah Paulson's character is her after she just figured out what just happened, how she just got played, how she failed to do the one thing they wanted to do above all else, was keep this under wraps. And you see her bent over, you know, just screaming in frustration. And that's how it ends. Like, it opens it up to where there's going to be more later, but again, it's just that one little detail of how they took out David Dunn, the overseer, the hero. You know, this is supposed, as Elijah said, this is meant to be an origin story because it's how everything begins, but it's like they went straight for Infinity War ending here, you know? One detail that really kind of ticked me off at first, just because of an association, was the mark, the brand, the logo that this secret society uses. It's a black 3-leafed clover tattoo. Now, it ticked me off because one of my animes to watch right now is Black Clover, so now I can't watch Black Clover without associating it a little bit with that, and that I'm not too happy about. But I can appreciate the thought that went into the design. The color itself, black, secretive, covert, and the symbol itself, the 3-leafed clover, not the 4-leafed, not the special or the lucky, the normal clover, signifying that these aren't the special ones. These are the normies. These are the everyday. Well, I guess that pretty much sums up why I'm so conflicted on the film. In the end, I'm giving it the 8 out of 10. If you liked what you heard, subscribe, comment down below. Otherwise, that's all. Thanks for listening.